Hello, my name is Cherie, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. Today we're going to be putting two vintage buttonhole systems to the test. The first is a low shank Singer buttonhole system, and the second is a Kenmore cog gear buttonhole system. A lot of people like to use vintage buttonholers because they give garments an accurate vintage buttonhole look. This first buttonhole system that I'm showing you is a Singer low shank buttonhole system, and it lends itself well to being used on modern day low shank machines because it is low shank. You simply take off the presser foot on your machine and attach this one. And also it has a little plate with it that you can use to protect the surface of your sewing machine bed. Now it must be noted that there were a variety of other brands that came out with low shank buttonholers in the 1940s and 50s, but this Singer one is just the one that I have on hand. This attachment comes with 4 different sized buttonholes. You just open up the back, put the appropriate size inside, place the bed protection piece onto the bed of your machine, and then attach this foot onto your machine as you would a regular sewing machine foot. Now I did have to put a piece of painter's tape down in order to keep the protective plate in place because it just wanted to move all around even though it was screwed down to the machine bed like it was supposed to be. There isn't a lot of room underneath this buttonhole attachment to place fabric, so it would be difficult to fit thicker fabrics underneath there. However, it is pretty easy to align the needle with the markings for your buttonhole on this particular attachment. I am going to play this in real time without any adjustments to the audio so that you can hear how loud the buttonholer is. As you can see right here, my needle did strike the protective plate and bend it. So now I had to change out my needle and then put a second piece of tape down to keep that protective plate in the correct place. This buttonhole system is pretty straightforward and quiet, so I like it a lot. However, one of my only other gripes with this system is that every single time that you want to change buttonhole sizes, you have to remove the entire attachment from the machine and then place the other buttonhole piece inside. If you haven't already, please do give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and tap that notification bell to receive updates. This is the Kenmore cog gear system. You do need a free arm sewing machine from the 1970s in order to be able to use this system. A lot of people do go ahead and purchase one of those machines in order to do buttonholes because you get that vintage buttonhole effect, but with a more advanced and potentially less fiddly system than the one that we looked at with the Singer. The process for setting up the Kenmore for buttonholes is a lot more difficult and time consuming than it is with the Singer. You have to set the length to 0, the width between 1 and 1.5. Then you have to remove the free arm plate, open the bobbin case door, lower the feed dogs, place the cog gear plate into the machine, and the only way that it will fit into the machine is if you do it at a 45-degree angle. Then you have to add the cog gear into the machine. And yes, I did try to cut out this step by placing the cog gear and the plate into the machine at the same time. However, this did not work very well, so I would recommend adding them into the machine separately. The next step after that is to add the buttonhole. I don't know what you even call it. It's like a little rectangle with the different buttonholes in it. You add that onto the buttonhole attachment first, and then you place the buttonhole attachment onto the machine and screw it down. After that, you have to add the buttonhole foot onto the machine, and then you're all set up for doing buttonholes on the Kenmore. Whew, that was a long process. So I just have to take a deep breath. It is easier to get thick fabrics underneath the presser foot with this system, so I do have to give them that. I am going to be quiet for a minute and let you hear exactly what this particular buttonhole system sounds like. As you heard, the Kenmore system is a lot quieter than the one from Singer. However, the Kenmore system is not without its flaws. I would highly recommend filling up your bobbin before doing this process, because if you are to run out of bobbin thread, you have to take apart the entire system in order to access your bobbin case to replace the bobbin, and that is problematic. The secondary problem that I had with this system is that the cog is continually getting stuck. And no, there's nothing wrong with my cog gear system. It has been oiled and greased accordingly, but it still gets stuck because there is a combination of metal and plastic in this system, and the metal and plastic do not work well together. They don't glide as they should. So if you were to want to go for a Kenmore buttonhole system, I would highly recommend going and getting one from the 1940s or 50s that's made up like the one that we just saw from Singer. Or I would recommend trying to see if one of the all-metal Kenmore buttonhole systems would work better. Here's the final results of what the Kenmore buttonholer turned out like. The Kenmore buttonholes didn't turn out as well because it was continually getting stuck. Now here is what the Singer buttonholes look like. They turned out a lot better and are really, really smooth. As you can see, the Singer is a clear winner in this particular test. However, for you Kenmore folks out there, I will say that the Kenmore system is not horrible, and it is actually good in that all of the buttonholes are in one rectangular block, so you don't have to take off the attachment in order to be able to do different buttonholes. But what say you? Would you buy one of the Singer buttonholer attachments, purchase a buttonholer attachment from one of the other brands that I showed you before, or buy a Kenmore sewing machine in order to use the Kenmore buttonhole system? Please let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, as I would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to receive more sewing related content. Peace.